Hey gang, Dallas here from Privateer Press. Welcome to P3 Presents Live. Today, we're going to talk about painting the little croaker man, Underchief Meyer. I'm sorry, take two. Wait, we're live. I don't get a second take. So, this is P3 Presents Live. Instead of doing a recorded version, we're doing a live version today. And I'm just going to paint this little croak man, Underchief Meyer, that we released recently. Oh, my paint's a little too thin there. Tony's with me. Hello, Tony.
Good morning.
Good morning. So I'm going to use some Iosan green, and I'm just going to start blurking some Iosan green onto this guy's skin. We're going to paint the skin. And I really love the little croaks in our setting. I think they're super adorable. So we're just going to start kicking this guy. Get some paint on him. So this is Iosan green. I'm going to be using some wet blending to get this guy where I want him. You can see I'm not really caring about the ropes there. It doesn't matter at this stage. I just want to get some Iosan green on this little feller. I don't really care about the hands. The hands will be red, but I want a little touch of green in there just to have it.
Give people just like a quick, for people who may not know what wet blending is.
It's a technique where you take two paints that are both wet and you smush them together. Easy peasy. Oh, this guy doesn't have a back, so I can't go into the vertical back of the croaks. All right. Little Iosan green. My brush is rough, Tony. I need a new brush.
Oh, man.
Okay. So I got a little bit of Iosan on here. I'm going to take some worm green, and I'm just going to start wet blending that. See how that's just mashing together?
Sorry, somebody in chat was asking for the color splat sound effects from yesterday.
Worm green. Is that how it was?
I think that's how it was, yeah. We got to work on our timing a bit.
And I just want these two colors to kind of start mixing together. I'm going to also grab some sulfuric yellow. I'm going to start working that into the tummy. Sulfuric yellow. See where these are wet. While they're wet, you just kind of start working them together. You get that transition. This technique is super good on these little organic models, like Warbeast and stuff like that. You can get some really nice natural fading and transitions.
Does that blend have to be perfectly even in the line
doesn't.
between the colors?
It doesn't, because nothing in nature is perfect. So you can kind of let that philosophy kind of carry you through the model. I like doing this kind of stuff. It's a little more loosey-goosey, a little more free-form. It's like jazz. And if you watch Get Your Paint On, you know how much I like painting with jazz. I'm just letting the paints just kind of happenstance however they want.
Balderdash on Facebook wants to know if you are using any sort of retarder or just water to fill the paint.
Not even really water. I'm just getting paint on there. There's nothing on my brush. Well, there's water. There's water. So yeah, but I actually kind of over watered a little bit there, but that's fine. It'll be fine. But nope, no mediums, nothing. I'm just using the wet paint. You don't want your wet blending to be super wet. You actually want the paint to be pretty bodied.
Why is that? What happens if it's too wet?
It just sludges everywhere. You want some of that stickiness in there. Know what I mean? You want that paint to kind of stick. Draw some little lines on his face there. Look cool. See, I'm just slowly working it over and getting all the areas covered nice and good. Let's go back here. A little more IOs in green. So as a croak gets from the back to the front, they go from dark to light. If you could see, if he didn't have a cape, you would go into coal black on his back. And we might do a little coal black. We'll see what happens. But this is pretty messy. I like paint like this because it's all messy. Just paint that skin all messy, just having a good time. Yeah, I mean, this turtle shell, I'm gonna paint that turtle shell later anyways. So it doesn't matter if paint gets on the turtle shell, just gonna get covered.
And for people in chat who are just joining us a little bit late, this is Under Chief Meyer.
He's a croak, and I love croaks. If I could get more croaks, I would.
I think you can make that happen.
I want more croaks, Tony. Know what I mean? And see, as you work in layers, you're just getting more and more of that variation. And it just covers more and more, and you're just starting to tighten it up. Starting to get that look. There you go. Oh yeah, we're definitely going to get some of that coal block down in that area. We're going to put a little green on the underside of that belly. See, as you keep working it, you just keep building the layers, and it just keeps developing.
And so, I'm watching. You're not working with one color, finishing that color, putting it down, and then going to the next color. You're kind of bouncing back and forth.
Oh yeah,
all three colors all the time.
Bouncing all over the place. I have a palette here. You can see I've got my ozone, my worm, and my sulfuric, and I'm just kind of bouncing back and forth on my palette.
Hold that up again to make sure we can see it.
Sorry. My 3 paints on my palette there. Just got a bunch of it. Got a little rag next to me. So I'm just kind of going back and forth and just working those colors into where I need them. And just kind of just keep developing the overall look of my little guy here. Apparently I've decided to use an old brush today, so that's clever of me. I just kind of grabbed whatever brush was on my desk. I wasn't paying attention. I literally grabbed an old brush. Should have been retired. So I'm just going to grab a little mix right there.
Use it as a tool.
Exactly. Like I'm a big fan of old brushes. You know this. Like, I'm a huge fan of old brushes.
Now, you want to have tools that do the right job, but don't let subpar tools stop you from doing your work.
Heck yeah, man. the masters used eggs. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I totally do. Yeah, eggs and dirt.
It's like mix eggs and dirt. That's paint. I mean, our paint's much better now, but that didn't stop them from creating masterpieces. So if I got an old brush, I got an old brush. To heck with it. I'm going. All right, I need a little bit of warm green in this belly still. Right here, there's little spots. Just to kind of develop that color.
Yeah, Patrick is bringing up, it's like those old brushes bring texture.
Yeah, and I mean, that's kind of why it's good, is like I got this old brush, and it's a little stiff. It's not as soft as it once was. It's not as supple as a brush that I would normally choose to use. But it does have its own je ne sais quoi, its own uniqueness. And so I'm actually using that just as, who was it that said that? Patrick. Just as Patrick said, to kind of get some of that roughness in the skin. Like, skin is a very rough surface, right? You want texture in skin life, you know. As I said, nature's not perfect, so I'm not trying to make porcelain frog skin. That doesn't even make sense. So if I can create some imperfection, I'm going to lean into it a little. And there's lots of different ways to wet blend. I have a very styled way that I am doing it here. I like a little nice jab technique. I've seen other people do it other ways. Everything, you know, there's no wrong way necessarily to get the effect you want. I'm going for the way I do it and the way the studio kind of gets it. And even in the studio, we can get away with a couple different options. See how that yellow is now coming together, right?
That's looking nice.
Mm-hmm. I want to bring a little bit of that yellow up into the mouth. I don't want much, so I'm going to mix a little bit of that warm green into that. Just use the edge of my brush there. Just kind of get just that top of that lip like that, like so. Maybe a little peck right there. There we go. Now we got a frogman looking like a frogman. All right, I'm going to switch over to a little coal black. So coal black and Exile blue. I'm going to mix these together. Now what you do is when you have a back of a croak is you start blending the back in a mix of coal black, Exile blue, and then you bring it around to pure coal black on the very, very back of him. We also have a visual guide to painting croaks. If you happen to have a copy of Horde's Devastation, there's a written guide on how to do this.
Dallas, can you slide Meyer over just a touch to the right? Just a little more.
Toot
Yeah,
toot.
just to make room
How's
for
that
this
look?
paint splat that's coming in now. You ready?
Ready?
1, 2, 3.
Coal black. So this also has a little mix of Exile blue in there too to tone it down. I'm going to switch over to my two brushes, as you can tell by my mouth. And I'm going to put a little blend back here coming from his back. And maybe in like some of the deeper areas. And this is going to give the skin some of that depth.
See, I would not have initially thought of using coal black for these shadows. But now that you're putting it on, the fact that it's got that greeny color, it makes perfect sense.
Right? It's that green, that little touch of green inside coal black that makes it magic. Coal black is such a magic color, really. So I'm going to do nice, simple blends and get some of that coal black in here. It looks so good. Well, I messed up. So I'm just going to clean that up.
No, start over.
Clean it up.
No mistakes allowed.
You remember when we first started these videos and I was afraid of making mistakes? Now
Yeah.
I'm like, I make mistakes all the time. Nature's not perfect. It's just that little bit of coal black brings that iosin to life, really. Like I said, if we had a croak all the way to the back side of him, you would have this like real dramatic shift from coal black.
Was that the darkest that you would go on the back, is coal black, or would you add anything after that?
So I go coal black and exile mix, and then I go to pure coal black, and that's the darkest. The spots, like little croak man have spots, and we'll get to those. Trust me, we will get to those. Do a little mix here. We'll mix a little coal black and iosin. Just right there. Little croakmans have spots, and on the back, you mix some Thamar black in with coal black for the spots. On the front, we're going to do something a little different. We'll get to those shortly.
Okay. So yeah, so that's basically 3 colors for the front, 3 colors for the back.
Yep.
It's easy to remember.
Easy to remember. And we're going to do a little bit more on that front there. Trust me. We got a little bit more to do. So that's pretty good. We don't have to perfectly paint all the skin today. We're just going to kind of show what we do here.
Getting a lot of chat love for coal black.
Because coal black is the best. All right. So I'm going to come back with my 3 main colors. My sulfuric, my worm, and my iosin. And I'm going to start detailing out. So I'm going to put like some little texture on his lip. Something like that. Draw a couple little, like enhance these little ridge lines on his mouth gullet. Maybe put a little highlight here on the top lip. Get some of that iosin back into that. And just kind of play with the colors. There's no wrong way. You can't mess it up. You're just having fun. You're just painting a little frogman. You should just have fun and do it.
So you just want to clarify how you were adding in the coal black, because Richard is asking, so coal black wash, but it's not a wash.
No, I was 2-brush blending it. And if you have questions about 2-brush blend, you can ask me on Facebook. You can ask me on the Ask the Studio thread, which is a fantastic resource. Or you could even watch the videos that we made all about the technique.
All right, we'll post that link shortly.
I like that idea. There we go. Little croak skin going on. So I'm going to take a little middle white highlight. And I'm going to grab a hold of some of the sulfuric yellow. Now I can wet blend this. I can 2-brush blend this. I can do any technique I want. Honestly, you could even 2-brush blend all this. Like, this doesn't have to be all wet blended. I'm just showing the wet blending. And I'm going to just put a little bit of middle white highlight in this yellow area. Maybe a little on the belly. I'll put some saliva there. Just work it around. There's a little on the lip, a little touch up there. Okay. Now my favorite part. So you want to have some little fun bits on these guys because they're little frogs. So once again, nature's not perfect. So they're going to have some weird texture. As we said, spots. And spots on the back would be a mix of coal black and thamar black. Spots on the front are simply just Iosan green. And you're just going to paint some little irregular Iosan green spots. Hey, that's a bigger one.
Lyle Lowry is in the chat right now saying, "Miss you, Dallas."
Oh, I miss Lyle Lowry.
We miss Lyle.
Maybe this guy's got some spots on his belly. They don't have to, but I like spots on the belly. Just some little irregular spots, right? Tony, do we have time for some red skin?
Yeah,
Shouldn't take me too long.
We can finish up in about 15 minutes. That should
Sure,
be just fine.
it shouldn't take me too long.
Okay, let's go for it.
it.
Unless you guys out there in the chat want us to stop right now, we could do that too.
It's up to them. Do we stop or do we add a little the red part to his hands and feet? Your call, chat. I got T-Mark saying never stop. All right, well, that's just T-Mark, though. Add the red, Brandon says.
All right, let's do
there
it.
we go.
Ponto Hornblower says that you just need to live in the studio and you're not allowed to leave.
I would do it. Look, if I could just paint all day for you guys on live stream, I would.
We can just get an IV drip in here.
Yeah.
Keep you hydrated. Give you the essentials.
Well, bring it up. Like, look, if I could, I would. Why not? Just sitting here paint all day for live streams. I don't think they understand how little would get done downstairs. So it's going to be a mix of Scorn Red and Cato Red Highlight. I'm going to start here at the fingertips. You can wet blend or two brush blend. It does not matter for this. I'm going to do probably like a little mix of both because I'm a loose cannon like that.
Okay, here come the splats.
Scorn Red, Cato Red Highlight. You just kind of mash it all together again. You get that transition, that weird transition from orange to red to green. Kind of gets a little muddy. It's kind of nice. I love these guys. Little fingers and toes. I'm only going to do one side for live stream. This is not a full hour. This is P3 Presents live. So this goes as long as I need it to go, not for a full hour. Sorry, kids.
It's okay. Today they're going to get the live stream fixed because around 10 a.m. we're going to be starting Primecast Live. So if you're watching this now, just keep hanging out And we'll have more for you in the next hour.
I might crash it even. You don't know. We'll ask chat. Chat, should I crash Primecast?
Corey wants to know if the splat noises and the naming of the paints are pre-recorded, or if we're doing it with our mouth holes. We are definitely doing it with our mouth holes.
This is live.
We like to do it lo-fi, and also it's way more fun that way.
Corey, have you met me? I'm so punk. We'll do it live. Let's do it. Kick it. Dallas, we haven't practiced the song. I don't care. Make it up. Oh yeah, I'm just glopping different colors of paints on this model because that's how it works. That's all you're doing with this technique is you're just kind of mashing some paints in there and just kind of letting them do their thing in a natural way. I'm not going to paint the other toe. We're just going to fakey this one up a little bit. A little green and the red there. See, I get that transition, that nice little transition there. I like to kick these little toes up with a little extra Kato red highlight.
Sure, yeah.
On the fingertips, like this. Maybe on the knuckle, the top. It just gives it that little extra something, that little extra punch. And the same thing like with the eyes, like the eyes of croak guys are red, so I'm going to go ahead and paint the eyes. I didn't promise the eyes. Got a little on that rope. That's fine. I'm going to paint the rope later. A little Kato red highlight to highlight those eyes.
I hope everybody out there is also just seeing like how quick this is going. I mean, we're half an hour in from you starting from a primed model.
Yeah, and there's no edits here. We're live. We're doing it. My God. Look at this guy. Oh, he's so adorable. God, I could just paint little croaks all day. All right, I know this is P3 Presents Live, but I got to talk a little bit. Tony, what's your favorite race of creatures in the Iron Kingdoms? On the spot, Tony, which he hates.
I'm going to go with Blighted Ogren.
Oh, Blighted Ogren are cool.
Yeah. Because they are featured heavily in Legion. Basically, anything Legion Blighted
It's true.
is my favorite.
You are a Legion guy.
Yeah, I like all the weird, creepy creatures.
It's true. You are a Legion guy. Well, I love Khador as a faction, but Khador would be way better if it had croaks. I'm going to use some Thamar Black to clean this up for video.
T-Marg wants to know what your favorite is. I mean, unless it is croaks.
It's croaks.
We've been talking about.
It was literally it. It's croaks. As I said, Khador would be way better if it had croaks in it. Little winter croaks.
Oh, see? Look at that. You said winter croaks. Justice Striker 911 says ice frogs.
It's because me and Striker 911 are pals. He knows what I like. All right, right, the black is here just to show the skin a little better. It cleans it up because there's green all over the place, so if it confounds the eye.
Because those are little face mask bands, right?
Yeah, he's got like little straps across his face. So if we clean that up, it tidies up and tightens up the overall effect. Yeah, well, you see it usually on P3 Presents, we cut this part out and we just kick to it. Now I have to do it live. So
you don't have the benefit of the edits.
Yeah, I do not have the benefit of it. So let me tell you, this makes me painting it much faster, I think. There we go. Look at that, kids. That's croak skin. What do you think of that? No? No, nobody likes? Okay. Charlie Tripod says, "Oh God, Dallas, no, we weren't ready for Croak Manowar."
They're in the past. We're about 10 seconds in the future for them.
Oh man, it's so hard to remember that.
See, there it goes. It's coming.
There you go. That is how I paint croak skin. So remember, the wet blending is a fun technique. It's super forgiving. You just get in there with some wet paint and just kind of smash it around. Give it a go on a couple things. I love it on monsters like feral warp wolves, gnarlhorn satyrs, any of the natural beasts. You can also do it on trolls. It works really good on trolls. Anything that has any organic creature, it works really, really well on. It's very forgiving. Brendan also made a video about it where it's polar bear fur.
Oh, right, yes.
Where he did wet blending.
He did wet blending on the polar bear fur.
So it's a super good technique. Can I bring the light over on him a little bit more?
Sure. I don't. You can turn up the one that's on top there, too.
Is that this one?
Yeah. No. The one right above your head. It's got a little knob
on
this
the back.
Guy. Yeah, there you go.
There we go. A little more light on him. So it's a super fast technique, just like two-brush blending. Or two-brush blending is a little more practice. But this is a super good little technique to get some nice little skin tones and to blend several colors all together to get a cohesive, uniform look. So that's how you do it. And remember, coal black goes into Iosan green super well. And if I was painting his back, it would go into pure coal black, and then the little specks, like these little specks here, those would be on the back, except for they'd be a mix of coal black and Thamar black. So you have these spots on the back as well. But there you go, kids. Croak skin for your viewing pleasure.
All right, take us out.
Take us out. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe. I can't remember the line. It's been a while.
Be sure to subscribe for more videos. Oh, see, I lost it.
You lost it.
And you've said it a bajillion times.
I've said that.
I've heard every time. I've listened to it every time you've said it and more. Because when I edit those videos, I watch them.
Oh, you watch it
I have to watch
multiple
it over
times.
And over and over.
Because you're looking for the best cut.
Yeah.
And we only get one cut.
Probably know them better than you, perhaps.
Check out the links below for more in this series and additional information on the P3 line, the P3 hobby line. Man, live is hard. My gosh.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody. See ya. Croak skins. Croak skins. Skin of the croak. Croak skins. Skin of the croak. Croaker, croaker, croak skin.